I want to talk about a topic that's very close to both of us. That's recruiting, right? You've been in the game and you've been successful, and I want you to talk about what has changed, what has evolved for the better and for the worse. Like what still feels stuck, like we're in 2005 when it comes to recruiting, but what also has evolved for the better in the recruiting space.
So it's interesting because when I look at recruiting overall, it is more transactional now than it's ever been, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And it feels very depersonalized. And we're dealing with people. The number one thing when we get into recruiting, I try to tell everyone is you're dealing with real people, with real families, really understand the intricacies of how much you touch them in that process. And you want to leave a positive impact as your organization and as a person. And before they ever buy into the organization, guess who they're talking to?
a
The
recruiter.
recruiter.
Yeah,
You are the first human contact in that process. So remember, you're dealing with people and remember how intimidating that process is
yeah.
sitting on the other side.
Definitely. I always say that the recruiter is the official doormat of any organization.
That's how it feels at most times too.
You're the official I see what you did there. But you're the official doormat, right? So, like, if this doormat is dirty, if it's not well put together,
Yeah.
if it's not symbolic of what your organization is, you can kinda tell, like, "Alright, this is not gonna be where I want to be." So I think, recruiters and I try to be like this, and I know you're like this, just very personable, being honest, being upfront, but also being a person. Like, this is just I mean, you're spending more time away from your families at this organization than you are, you know what I'm saying?
And as a recruiter, you have an obligation to know where your company wins, but you also need to know where they lose.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared to have those conversations. One thing my dad taught me at an early age is if you want to bring a value to a relationship, think of how many people come to a relationship with problems.
Mm.
Now think of how many come with solutions. Be the solution. Find a way to connect the dots, and that brings an immediate value proposition to any relationship. And I challenge every recruiter to do that with their applicants, no matter what they're hiring for. Ask them what their problems are, and read in between the lines and connect what you offer to those problems and how you become a solution. And then you're going to form a relationship that can last and be, prosperous for all sides.
The doctor is in the building.